No, he's there. Yeah. Actually, I like those color shirts better. I can't breathe better than anyway.
Yeah, he'll be back real soon. As soon as he can move, he'll be back. Yeah. Okay, 6:30. Let's get started so we can get out and enjoy this beautiful day. This week's code of conduct is to speak and act supportively of VCI as a company and of our workers. So that's one of our real key one is to try to promote within, promote each other, work together as a team. Definitely team oriented is what we're striving for here. Is where we're all kind of looking out for each other. We're working together. We're trying to solve problems together. So at the end of the day, we can be proud of what we accomplished. So let's continue that trend. So far, we are today's the last Friday, Q2. Believe it or not, we're halfway through the season. So it's pretty crazy to think that. So we're starting our new track, 22 days without recordable. Good job last week. We're jumping into a holiday week, so it's very important that we really focus on our day-to-day operations and not exactly what we're going to be doing for the holiday. But again, let's just work together. Let's speak and act supportively of each other. So let's keep this trend going. We're a little late in the season, but I want to quickly just refresh about our annual training on poisonous plants. We've had a couple flare-ups on some of our projects where we had to go and seek medical attention. But again, it's just first aid, so it's not that big of a deal. But it can get bad if it's not treated or not identified quick enough. So I'm going to just throw out some quick ones. These are the heavy hitters: poison oak, poison sumac, poison ivy, and poison parsnip. Those are the ones that we normally see on our job site. So first we'll go over poison ivy. Leaves of 3, let it be. See anything with 3, let it be, especially when it comes to poison ivy. Here's some examples, some document pictures of it. So identifying, so poison ivy, leaves of 3, let it be. And this is something that I actually learned that I thought was very interesting is poison ivy always grows left then right. So if you actually look at the stems, if the first stem is left first then right as it goes up, it's a good indicator that that's poison ivy. So never side by side, never has more than 3, and never has thorns, and never has edges like these types of like curves and stuff. So those are kind of good identifiers if you're walking into a new site. As jobs are closing up and jobs are opening, and as we're moving around, kind of a good way to identify that. So here's the different poison ivy, different seasons. So spring has a little bit more red thin. Summer is going to be hopefully nice and bright green, and then fall is going to turn back into a greenish, orangey type of color. So we're going to see them mostly on roadsides, paths, ponds, streams, beaches, forest grounds, pretty much, all of most of our terrain that we continually work with. So it poisons you through an oil. It gets on your skin, and if you're allergic to it, you're going to break out. Direct contact with the skin or spread through clothing, especially if you irritate it, it's going to spread. So what can we do? What kind of effects? Severe rash, swelling, blistering, terrible itching. I'm sure we've all been kind of exposed to it. So we want to act on it right away so it doesn't grow and turn into some really nasty stuff where you got to be really got to worry about infection and really irritable where you can't work, So we got to make sure that we know about it. We do have contact wipes downstairs in the tool crib. They're before you go into these environments, you're supposed to throw them on your skin, and then actually after you get out, you throw it on your skin. Again, it's only for like a short-term exposure, but it does help. We are using them on some of the Burlington bike paths. A good example is a lot of poison ivy down there. They're utilizing it, and they haven't been exposed too bad. And also Tyvek suits is another kind of admin control that we can use to kind of prevent it from getting on your skin. But on hot days like this, it's not really applicable for that type of situation. But biggest thing, let us know. We can go to Champlain Medical quick and get an antibiotic cream, and it usually nips in the butt right away. So hopefully identify and stay away from it. But if you can't, we have a process in place to hopefully not make it worse. So here's an example of poison sumac. All right, so it's a red stem. It's non-saw-tooth leaves and loose berries. I'm sorry. So here's a good example of it. You know, it's not so prevalent in the area, but you do see it sometimes on the rail. Wetlands produces an oil, again, very similar to poison ivy. Kind of small bumps, terrible itching again, trouble breathing in the worst, real severe cases. And very similar to poison ivy with the rashes and the puffiness. Poison parsnips, it's a newer one we've been talking about the last couple of years, and this is when the oils gets on your skin, and then the sun works like a mirror or magnet, or it's like a mirror on your skin, so it shines really bright on your skin and actually can give you third degree burns on your skin. So again, along the roadsides, poor growing locations, you see it all down the interstate. You see it's really an invasive plant. So you're really seeing it more and more over the last couple of years. It produces a sap, and then that gets on your skin, and then the sun hits it, and then you start blistering. And here's some examples of what poison parsnip can do to you. It can give you some really bad burns. Can really do some harm to your skin. So prevention, if you can, identify it, leave it alone, PPE, and personal hygiene. So that's all we can do to control poisonous plants out there. And then treatment is good, just good personal hygiene. Rinse your skin with water, cortisone cream, and calamine creams. What's that? Calamine creams, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then seek medical attention, support in severe cases. Just biggest thing, get on the horn. We've been good about reporting everything. Let's continue with that so we can try to keep these at bay and nothing too serious where we have to miss time or be on light duty for something like a poisonous plant. So it's out there. We have a lot of jobs that closing up and open up. So this is a good training that can go company-wide that everybody can help identify it. You had a question, Jesse? Yes. Yes. If you have a lot of it, yes, there's sprays that can be done, Roundup, things like that to help wipe it out before we even get to the site. Sometimes that's not possible. But again, yes, it's a good example.
Roundup in your skin too.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough chemical on your skin as well.
Dawn dish soap. You're exposed to it. Wash with Dawn dish soap. Cuts the oil.
That's a great one too. Yeah, Dawn dish soap. Thanks, Rich. Is there any other questions? Any stories to share?
If not from the roots.
Get it?
Dig a trench. Get in.
Yeah, that is good. Okay. From experience?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's a lot of it is from experience, but yes, it's also the roots. It's the oils. The oils gets on your skin and then it's going to create some harm. So, with that said, I'll pass it over to Ken.
Brings back some unpleasant memories of poison ivy. Some of those blisters. Okay, so we got some new hires this week, or one new hire, Lawrence Siegel. Lawrence, Larry, whatever you go by. Larry, not here?
He goes by Scott.
Okay, and where is he? He's not
He's
here.
with Dana down on.
Okay, good. Well, welcome him aboard when you see him. So next week's a short week with the holiday, which is the 4th. We'll be off the 4th on Thursday. And so we need to be good at getting all the time recorded for 7 a.m. on Monday and approved by the project managers right after that. This week we're profiling the GMP Green Mountain Power Airport substation. We had quite a little scope of work here. Silt fence and substation fills, 1,540 yards. And some dense graded for the surface, parking surface. Yard materials, that must be like a crushed stone, I imagine. We had some quite a bit of yard fencing, which is typical on these substations. And some trenching must be for conduit systems, right? I believe conduit systems were done directly by Green Mountain Power, so we did the trenching and backfilling. Oil containment berm, stone under drain and installation work, concrete trench system, and transformer pad, circuit breaker foundations, power leg foundations, and line DT. I don't know if that's like the bus bars. Is that what those are for the bus posts, for the bus bars up top? Circuit breakers and more legs, power legs. That was a repeat, I guess. And load brake. So it must be like a breaker and a big breaker. It's like your load. Just think of a substation, very much like your load center in your house. Breakers and wires and not transformers in case typically. There might be transformers actually to a lower voltage in your load center. And let's see, yard lighting, sonotube foundations. We had a total of 91 cubic yards of 4,000 PSI concrete and 12,000 pounds of reinforcement. And we removed 3/4 acres of trees, I would say that meant, shrubs, organics, and stumps. So we're obviously a lot of trucking involved, 1,500 yards, and a lot of materials. Some foundations for the substation equipment at an early stage, and then what, containment walls, Larry, or control house? Okay, control house, and a little dewatering recharge area. That must be the foundation for the transformer. That's a control house too. It's a small control house, isn't it? Yeah, that's pretty small. More foundation work going on. That's what we got. And from the photo archive, we have a picture of the shop and office from the air back in 1999. I think that was related to the Robbins Mountain project, which was a helicopter job where we hired a helicopter. And they came and I don't remember where they picked us up. Let's pick us up at the airport, and then I think we did a ride over the shop. 1999, January.
All the equipment was in the inner yard.
Yeah, it's really packed in the inner yard there, and hardly anything in the backyard. I can't really tell what was stored in the backyard. Oh, it looks like some of the conduit pipe, which we recently moved for that, that casting area. The concrete guys is there, but can't really see any other part of the substation or the shop site.
You didn't have Larry. You didn't own the shop where Larry was.
Yeah, it's in the back.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, so Larry, you're
And then-
with there now?
Come on, wholesale lumber.
Where? Where's that?
Right.
And the wholesale lumber guys hadn't had anything but that one little warehouse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Quite a few changes since then. All right. Well, good. Remember, holiday on Thursday, so secure your sites fairly well before the holiday evening. And even on every weekend.
Jeremy Frenier. Ivan Leno. Sean Lampier. Reg Valley. Alex Fraternal. Hi, Stan. How are you? John Lucier. Brian Martell. Zach McQueen. Eric Merman. Kobe Moreau. Todd Nelson.
Tying up all those loose ends.
Alexander Knott. Matt. Andrew Wet.